Snyder, a new #1 in the New York Mets, #1 in the power rankings for the first time this season, although it is early, but still the first time for the Mets. The biggest risers, that goes to the Royals after winning 6 in a row. The biggest fallers, that goes to the Halos after losing 10 of their last 13 games. The Cubs at #2, the Dodgers at #3. Then we have the Giants rounding out the top 4. Let's welcome in Matt Snyder to go through the power rankings, a new #1 in the New York Mets. And Matt, how are they #1 despite dropping 2 of their last 3 games to the Nats?
Well, that's quite a small sample there, Jacqueline. What if we went back in the last 10 games when they've gone 8-2 in their last 10 games? Look, they have the best record in baseball right now. I know a lot of people seem to default to wanting me to put the Dodgers #1, but the bottom line is the Dodgers are 10-10 in their last 20 games. The Cubs have been kicking their butt all over the field. They just won a series, but it was against the Pirates. I think the Mets have been more impressive to this point. I think that heading into the year, starting pitching was a major concern for the Mets. But right now, Kodai Senga, ERA in the 1s. Tyler McGill, ERA in the 1s. David Peterson, Griffin Canning, Clay Holmes converting from reliever have all been really, really good. And offensively, Francisco Lindor is starting to get things going here in the last 2 weeks, week and a half or so. Pete Alonso leads the National League in OPS and doubles, by the way, along with hitting those home runs, driving home runs. And Juan Soto is going to get better. Juan Soto has not been terrible to this point, but he hasn't been his Juan Soto self. He's going to improve as well. I'm not worried about that. So this is a very well-rounded and very good team, despite the fact that they've lost a whopping 2 games out of their last 3.
Yeah, that's just proof, Matt, that you can take any stats to kind of fit the storyline that you want.
Yes,
dropping
absolutely.
2 of the last 3, 8-2 in the last 10. Regardless, they have the best record in Major League Baseball, so even a Braves fan can admit to that. Let's talk about the Giants, because they're cracking the top 5 of the power rankings, up 3 spots from last week, sitting at 19-10 right now to start this season. I know it is early, but do you have a feeling that this team might be for real, Matt?
Yeah, I'm starting to get that way. If you look at that top 5, by the way, I think you could make a legitimate argument for any one of them for #1. It's just kind of like you said, if you wanted to kind of twist certain stats to how you wanted them, you might be able to sell any one of those top 5, including the Giants. They played the second hardest schedule in all of baseball behind the Cubs, who I have in the #2 spot. It's, 19-10. We're getting up to where we've got a decent sample here, and it's not like they've just been great at home. They're 10-6 on the road. They won 3 of 4 from the Brewers. They won 2 of 3 from the Rangers. They're getting it done against good teams. By the way, Wilmer Flores, of all people, is leading the majors in RBI right now. JUNG has been amazing. Logan Webb looks like he might be on his way to winning his first Cy Young of his career, even though he's been in the mix several years. Great bullpen. They're just getting it done every which way. And I could not help but think back to 2021 when the Giants were great pretty much from the start of the season. And for months, it was, when are these guys going to come back to earth? And they ended up winning 107 games, and they never came back to earth. Maybe they're playing over their heads again like that.
I don't know if we should let Tommy Tran hear you bring up 2021 and the Giants, because he might get overly excited. Matt, let's go to the Phillies. You just showed the top 10 of the power rankings. The Phillies are now outside of that top 10. They're down 6 spots to #12, 5-5 in their last 10 games. So what is it going to take for the Phillies to kind of crack the top 10 again in the power rankings?
Well, they might have already turned the corner, because they won 2 games in Wrigley Field over the weekend. They had been brutal on the road. They were 4-9 before Saturday on the road, but they won 2 against the Cubs. Aaron Nola had a very good start on Sunday. He was 0-5 before that, and he had been a big problem. The bullpen had been pathetic through the year, and on Saturday and Sunday, the bullpen did pretty good work. So now they come home. They're 9-4 at home. There's still a lot of talent here. This is going to be a team that's going to be inconsistent. We've seen them. They get really, really hot at times, like when they went to the 2022 World Series, or at the start of the year last year. They get really cold at times, like in the playoffs last year. So we'll see if they get hot at the right time. But I think that they already have started to turn that corner, starting with those 2 wins in Wrigley Field. Now they go home. They're going to feast at home.
Let's go to the biggest riser, and that goes to the Royals. They're up 5 spots. And you talked about, consistency, ebbs and flows. This team, they've lost 6 in a row, lost 6 in a row, then win 6 in a row. How do they keep the winning ways and stay consistency in terms of wins and not losses?
Well, they still need more help for Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup. Michael Garcia has actually started to hit pretty well, but they need more from Jonathan India. They need a lot more from Vinny Pasquantino. They're going to need a little bit more from Salvador Perez. Even at his age, he can hit for a little bit better average here. Look, they have a good rotation. They have a great back end of the bullpen. They're 11-5 at home. They're 3-10 on the road, but they've only played good teams on the road. Teams like the Tigers, the Yankees, the Guardians. Once they start to play weaker teams on the road, maybe they get a little bit more help for Bobby Witt Jr. Maybe they can find some consistency. But yeah, for now, definitely need more help in that offense for the superstar Bobby Witt Jr.
Matt, we've talked about, new number 1, top 5, top 10, biggest riser. Now we're going to go all the way to the very bottom of your power rankings, and that is where we find the Colorado Rockies dead last, and they're trending toward their 3rd straight 100-loss season. It just feels like nothing is going their way, Matt.
And it doesn't seem like anything's going to go their way in the near future either. They don't have like a load of top prospects or anything. They don't have a ton of veterans that they could sell off to kind of stock the farm system. They're playing in a division with 4 very, very good teams. I mean, you're talking about the Diamondbacks being in 4th place right now in that division, and they're really good. They're tough. This is a horrible spot. It's a terribly, terribly run franchise, starting at the top with ownership. They strike out too much. They hit for a low batting average. And by the way, you should never hit for a low batting average in Coors Field. It's so spacious, you can easily drop singles in there. They should be leading the league in batting average every single year. They've only won 3 games at home. They're 1-14 on the road, which is just kind of depressing to even say, to be 1-14 on the road. It's a really, really bad team. I don't know if we should get in the business of acting like every time a team gets off to this terrible of a start, they might be the next White Sox. But man, they really do look every bit that bad.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Matt. I was going to say, we're talking about historically bad seasons, and typically the White Sox, they are no strangers to that. They have had a really easy schedule, still number 29 in the power rankings. So when it's all said and done, who do you think ends up dead last in the power rankings? Is it going to go to the White Sox, or is it going to be the Rockies that are sticking there in that number 30 spot?
I do think that the Rockies are probably stuck there for the long haul here. Maybe it's recency bias, but you could definitely see the White Sox playing bad enough to come in under them at some point. But the Rockies are just so bad. They're the worst team in the league. I had them as the worst team in the league in my predictions heading into the season. I took the White Sox over 53.5 wins, which isn't that bold. That's a terrible win total. But yeah, I feel like the Rockies are here for the long haul.
Yeah, the White Sox sitting at 7-21. Not great, but still better than 4-23. Matt, we certainly appreciate it going through the very latest power rankings, which, by the way, you can find those right now over on CBSSports.com. Getting a look at some notable games on the diamond tonight. Twins and Guardians kicking things off. We got the Yankees and the O's, Tigers and the Astros, and the Dodgers welcoming the Marlins to town at 10.
What's up, Dodgers Nation? Today, we got some major rumors that could shake up the entire Dodgers universe. Sources around the league are buzzing that the Dodgers are seriously looking into trading for Jung Lee from the Giants. Yeah, you heard that right. One of the hottest young hitters this season might be switching sides and putting on Dodger blue. Is this real? Does it make sense? And what would it actually cost to make this happen? Stick around till the end. We're breaking it all down. Who is Jung Lee? First off, if you're not totally familiar with him, Jung Lee is a South Korean outfielder who came into the MLB with huge hype, and in 2025, he's been living up to it. Check out these numbers. 2024, hit .262 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs, solid rookie season. 2025, batting .324, .383 OBP, and a crazy .929 OPS. Already 3 homers, 16 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases, and we're not even at the All-Star break yet. Just to put it in perspective, our guy Teoscar Hernandez right now has a .789 OPS, so he's playing at an All-Star level. The dude's got elite bat control, he runs well, plays solid defense, and he's only 25. 25. That's exactly what you want to build a team around. Why would the Dodgers want Jung Lee? Now, you might be thinking, but we already have Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Pages. Do we really need another bat? Look, in the Dodgers world, you can never have too much talent. Plus, Michael Conforto has been up and down, and he's in his 30s now. Chris Taylor, love the guy, but he's hitting .182 this season. It's getting ugly. And we all know injuries are always lurking, especially by October. Jung Lee would bring youth to our outfield, contact at the plate, speed on the bases, and that electric energy you need in October baseball. What would a proposal trade to Dodgers? All right, but what would it actually cost? You know there's no such thing as a free lunch in MLB. To pull a player like Jung Lee, especially from a division rival like the Giants, Andrew Friedman would have to pay up. Here's a proposal trade package that Dodgers are offering. Dodgers send to the Giants Andy Pages, a super talented young outfielder who's already shown flashes of major potential. Ben Casparius, solid pitching prospect, could be a future starter. Enrique Hernandez, veteran utility man who can fill in multiple positions right away. Honestly, the Giants might still ask for one more mid-level prospect, someone like Nick Frasso or River Ryan. Is it expensive? Yeah. Is it worth it? If we want more rings? Absolutely. Imagine this lineup, folks. Betts, Lee, Freeman, Ohtani, Smith, Teoscar, Edman, Muncy, Rojas. Man, that's just illegal. Personally, Dodgers fans, I think getting Jung Lee would be the kind of move that sets us up for a dynasty over the next 5 years. He's young, smart at the plate, plays with heart, and fits perfectly into what we're building here. But what do you think? Would you trade Andy Pages plus a couple of prospects to get Jung Lee? Or do you think trading with the Giants is just asking for drama? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that notification bell because if this trade happens, you know I'll be here breaking it down first. Let's go Dodgers! See you guys next time.